This video is sponsored by Jace the Sculptor. More about them in a second. This is Groundeffected. My name is your dad. And today I'm painting a goblin, which I think is going to round out my Spider-Man month very nicely. As I said, this video is sponsored by Jace the Sculptor. This is a Patreon over on Patreon, where every single month you will get some absolutely epically incredible statues for you to 3D print and paint. I'm not going to lie, this Spider-Man really piqued my interest. But I'm really glad that I decided to go with Goblin. This is because I've already done 2 Spider-Mans this month. A normal Spider-Man, the amazing of the Spider-Mans, and I have done a Spider-Punk. I've also done Mr. Stan Lee, and now I feel like one of the villains would probably fit very well for a Spider-Month. And this one really fits that bag. Some word that's supposed to be in that place. Now, of course, if you're interested in this file, this one is apparently available from the 31st of December, and for some people on Christmas Day. And of course, if you want it, well, then it's there in the description. Go down to the link in the description and go and subscribe to Jace the Sculptor, and let's just get some paint on this gobbo, shall we? It is the next morning, and I've woken up feeling like I may die, but it's okay. I've got everything prepared for the painting I need to do today. Genuinely not sure what happened to me last night, but I went to bed normal person and woke up today not normal. But that's not going to stop me, and I have actually got a lot on the plate. I'm busy uploading something to the computer, which I need to print in a castable resin. I'm going to be casting some stuff on Sunday with my friend George. This is one of the things, but the other thing I can't really show you just yet. It's there, but we won't show you too much about it. Anyway, what I need to do is clear out my palette, because there is clearly a lot of mess upon my couch, which has obviously now become a table. And I need to also... Some idiot decided to leave a primer in the airbrush last night. There is a small chance that that idiot is me. I'm going to clean the airbrush quickly, and then we're going to put paint on the model. And if that isn't enough, I have to prepare my kids' Christmas present, which is going to require me taking this old computer and putting it into that new computer. And I have no idea anything about computers. So for now, I'm just going to clean up my shop, get everything ready to start painting, and then actually start painting. Okay, I'm going to show you the quick and dirty way that I'm going to clean this airbrush. I'm not going to do a full clean down, because that's going to take way too long. I'm literally going to just clear out the little tip, and once that's cleared out, I've got to clear that. Can you clearly see that that needle is not the right color for a needle? So I need to clean that, the tip, put it back together. It'll work fine, at least for this model. Once again, I find myself in front of a microphone sitting at my desk and looking at a video of something that I did a couple of days ago, and trying to remember the things that I did, to tell you exactly how I did it. But I just want to mention that this is the last Spider-Man video of this month, so we need to relish in this video while we can. And I've just talked over everything that I did in this part, so you probably wouldn't know what I did, and I guess that doesn't really matter. because if you couldn't pick it out by just looking at the colors, well then, I don't really know what my words would have helped you. Anyway, what I do want to say is that I'm super excited to be doing a villain. As you can also tell by my voice, I sound a little bit like a villain now, and that is because I think a little bit of a goblin got inside of me during the night before I made this model, and I have been feeling a little bit sick, so bear with me while I try to talk about how I paint this goblin, and we'll just talk about the zenithal highlight. This is probably the most important thing with this model, and you're going to see why in a bit. I'm going to be using the zenithal to push the highlights and shadows that I need, but it is going to pose a little bit of a problem. So I just decided that I was going to use Megos Purple to color the suit, but I realized something. Let me show you. I'm going to need to paint the skin on this as well as the purple on this, and if I gave it a Megos Purple color, it would mean that I would never be able to match the color of the suit because I'm going to be painting the skin, and I'd rather airbrush the skin and hand paint the suit. So the way that I paint, it just means that it wouldn't make sense to use the Megos Purple. So I have changed my mind, and I'm in fact going to now be using this, just purple, plain purple, and I will put some shadows on it and a little bit of highlight. That way I can still achieve the color that I want without having to sacrifice any of the skin tones a little bit later. Hopefully that makes more sense when you see me actually paint the skin tones and then paint the hood afterwards. Otherwise, if it doesn't make sense, well then, I don't know what to do for you. To try and somewhat make sense of this, basically what I'm doing is I'm using tints. These contrast paints are practically see-through, and if you painted them over black, you would only slightly tint the color of black, which is exactly what's happening in this case. By adding that white zenithal, I'm basically shaping all the highlights, and literally I've already got free shading as it is. Now with the purple stuff, all I have to do is paint purple over the top of it, and then I can put a bit of a shadow into the shadows of that area, because I'm not going to be using the zenithal as the highlight, but it will still kind of show through a little bit. It's just not as much as this green. I'm pretty sure I'm literally ruining all of that. Another good example of using a contrast paint over a black and white sketch is that satchel. And if it doesn't make sense, well then I don't really know how else to make it make sense. But essentially all you're trying to do is create the sketch of the volumes of the thing you're going to paint, then put a color over the top of it, and then just, you're practically halfway there. And after that you can then start adding some more shadows and some highlights and a little bit of like extra things, you know. That's literally how I choose to paint. It makes it easy, and even a schmo can do it, like me, which is example as you're watching this video. For the base, I chose to paint all of the smoke first because I wanted it to be nice and smooth, like smoke obviously, and the airbrush makes that easy for me. I then painted all the rock sections on the base with a matte black, and I put it aside to dry while I dry brushed some silver over this goblin flyer thing that flies, obviously, with the goblin on top of it. And dry brushing it this way makes it look metallic without looking weird, I think. I'm pretty sure that's how I'm supposed to explain it. On the torso of this dude, he has a belt, and for this I chose to use Mornfang Brown because it's a nice reddish looking brown, but also at the same time it will sort of match the satchel color, a very sort of. I used snakebite leather with my airbrush on a low pressure to just spray a shadow over that brown, trying not to get any on the purple obviously. I then used a little bit of a bronze color on the buckles, and this is where I kind of wish I paid a bit more attention to the picture, but Frankie said to me it's okay because you're allowed to use an artistic impression or something like that. Basically all the buckles should have been silver, but they're bronze now. Sorry, there's nothing we can do about it. I used a little bit of Agrax Earthshade to deepen and darken some of the holes on the belt, and then I painted his lovely little armpit hairs using the same Astromilitarium green that I originally used. This didn't make that much difference, by the way, so I maybe would have used something a little bit darker. Now for sort of matching those things on his feet to the metallics of the glider, is you could do this two ways. You could paint this black and then dry brush it, but you might get some on the purple that you have nicely painted on his foot, and so I chose to do it in the way of just mixing black into the silver, and then using that over the top of the metal area, and then painting black over the strap, and then I used the brighter silver to just grab the edges of that darker silver that I used earlier, which seemed to work pretty fine for me. Here is another point where I put the wrong color in the wrong place, which is obviously bronze, and all of these things were meant to be a dark silver of some kind, but I'm accepting my choice, and we're not going back now. There is another choice that I made, which you might hate me for, and that is I did not choose to paint all the stitching on this body. There's a load of stitching, and I feel like it probably would look cool with the stitching done, but I chose not to do it, so don't fight me when we get to that part, because we're not even going to get to that part. So anyway, for the little rocks around the base, I used a dark grey at first, which makes it seem like nothing's happening, but trust me, it is. I then used a lighter or medium grey, like a neutral kind of grey, and I dry brushed that over the top. I don't change my brush during this, so that the brush itself has a lot of the previous colors before. When I get to this final stage of deck tan, I will do one last brush. Why do I call it an airbrush? A dry brush over the top, using a new and fresh dry brush that will give me really bright, crisp edges. But before I start talking about that, I need to tell you what's happening on the screen, and that's sponging. I'm using a sponge to add some blue stuff, which I think I saw in the render. I don't know why I'm doing this actually, but I did it, and it's done. Also decided I didn't like how that looked, so I wanted to try like blend it in a little bit, and I used some Griff Charger Grey in the shadows, which is always a good call when it comes to metallic objects, because it just helps to give it some more atmosphere. Also, these things need to dry, and obviously during my time crunch of every single bottle that I ever make, well, I use my wife's hairdryer to try and help me speed this up a little bit, which is a very good way of speeding things up if you yourself have a time crunch and need to get something done on a time crunch, obviously. Now I'm going to try to paint some of the light that comes on this model. If I had a little bit more time, I might have considered printing this in transparent and putting a really bright light in it and then painting off everything, but we did not have the time, so we're going to try to paint the effect in some sort of a way. So I'm going to paint everything with deck tan first, everywhere where the light should be, and then I'm going to spray this Tesseract glow over that. Not too dark though, just a little bit, before I come back using some white ink and spray back into the highlighted area, or like the brightest part of the light, very carefully angling my airbrush to make sure that I'm hitting the center portion where the light would be the brightest that it possibly would be. Then I will take some deck tan and I will go around the edges of all the bits that are hanging over the light to make them a little bit lighter so that they look like light is catching the edges of them. The aim is to get as much white towards the center of where the light source is coming from to kind of sell the effect of this. Now it's time to deal with the other light source that is on this model, and that is the Goblin bombs in his hand. I chose to deal with this by painting everything with deck tan first, because just deck tan is such an easier color to cover with. Like, it just covers everything very well, and so I figured if I just paint everything deck tan first, I've got a decent ground to start from. Now I decided to mix up all these colors that you see. One of them is a metallic red, which you wouldn't know that because its name has been rubbed off, but now that I've told you, you know it. So I just mixed all these colors to make a sort of an orangey color that sort of looks kind of metallic, but not really. I don't know what I was doing, but it's orange, and so I used it. I then painted all of the little panels that should be orange on the Goblin bomb, leaving the deck tan in the lines where all the light's supposed to come out of. If I had made any mistakes, I just put another line of deck tan over the top. Once this was fully dried, I then used the Tesseract glow to spray over the top of everything, because any of the light source would be leaking on his hands anyway, and this kind of sort of sells the look, I guess. I used white to just give it a highlight and really sell the light look of it, and then I moved on to painting the hood of this head, which I literally just used the same purple that I painted every single other garment with, but I used the brush this time because obviously I don't want to be masking off some ears or a face on a model like this, because who has the time for that? I certainly do not. So I just slapped this paint on with the back of my paintbrush. Once this was painted though, I realized that it didn't have the depth that I needed, so I decided to use a little bit of white ink and carefully spray this on a low air pressure on some of the high spots where I needed the highlights, and then using the exact same purple, I sprayed that over with my airbrush, because I can control this as it is in the center of an area, meaning that I can get a brighter highlight just because of the white. If that's not an excuse for why white makes things brighter, then I don't know what is, really, actually. Because people keep saying, why do you bother with the undercoat? Well, the proof is in the pudding of this face. I'm going to mix up two colors, the skin tone and also some orcish dermis, to create a lip color. After I've done that, I'm going to use straight, neat orcish dermis on the insides of his mouth to make the gum color, and I'm also going to use it on some portions of his eyes as well. Then I'm going to take some deck tan and I'm going to paint those eyes and also the teeth. And the reason that I'm going to use deck tan is because it's not white. If I use white, it would be way too bright and it would look really weird. The reason that I'm painting the eyes first is because I need a yellow to go over the top of them, and so this is a good base color for that yellow to be a little bit brighter than what it would be if I just painted it straight over the green in his eyes. With his teeth, I literally just made sure to keep the gaps in the middle of them darker by not going all the way over each teeth. You don't want to solidly paint the teeth. You want to actually paint each individual tooth, leaving a tiny little gap of the dark green color that was left in the mouth over, so that there is a separation between each of the teeth. This will make it look more like teeth, obviously, and this is the only thing that I can tell you is just the secret to painting teeth. Other than that, you need glasses because they're really hard to see most of the time. I'm going to take some golden yellow and I'm going to paint that over the top of the eyes that I originally painted using the deck tan, and any mistakes that I make, I will keep a spare brush with me so that I can quickly wipe it off using the spit out of my mouth as a eraser, obviously, because who doesn't eat paint if you're painting a model? And if you don't, well then that's probably good for you, because I don't think you're supposed to eat it. Anyway, I used white to create a specular highlight before I went back in with some gloss varnish, and this one from Vallejo works really well for me to paint over the lips, teeth, and also the eyes. And then I can place the head on this model and call this one done. So I'm really glad to have come to the end of Spider-Man month. No, that is a lie. I'm not glad that it's the end of Spider-Man month, but I'm glad that we've made it this far, and I'm really happy looking at what I have on my table. I'm going to be totally honest with you. This is all personal collection stuff. This is not the kind of stuff I think I could ever sell, if I'm being totally honest. I really like Spider-Man. I don't know if you know that, but I'm really glad that I got this out of my system, because now I can move on to greater and bigger and more things, because this month was fantastic, but there are many things out there other than Spider-Man, and I have been itching to be doing a Spider-Man for a long time, and now we managed to get this out the system, so I'm just really glad that we've done it. Hopefully you enjoyed these series of Spider-Man videos, and hopefully you learned something out of them. If you didn't, well, I don't really know what to say to you, but I do know what to say right now, because it's the end of a video, and that is, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you so much to my Patreons for also helping to make this a reality, because without them the lights wouldn't be able to blind my eyeballs and I could not keep making the videos. If you are watching this video on the toilet, you need to wash your hands, and when you're done washing your hands you need to click the subscribe button, and if you haven't already, it probably means that your breath stinks, and if you don't want your breath to stink, well then click the subscribe button. So that's it, the end of a video. There are words that people are waiting for, and those words go in the form of, if you didn't like anything you saw in this video, I do not care, and now you can kindly f*** off. Also, thank you to the sponsor, Chase the Sculptor, for making this. Literally, I messaged him and I was like, yo, do you want a sponsor video? Part of Spider-Man month? Good sport. Very nice person. Please go and sponsor, check sponsor, link in description. Okay, now f*** off.